What will happen next will surprise the world. Wormwood. Simpsons predict Asteroid. Los Angeles, California. By Michael Israel. Root TV.
Yesterday, NASA said the risk of a space rock hitting Earth is 6 times greater than we thought. And as if on cue, a meteor streaked through the night sky in the west. Here's John Blackstone.
Some described it as a fireball. Others called it a bright green flash. The meteor that lit up the sky over Southern California last night caused no damage, but plenty of excitement. Paul Chodas tracks asteroids and meteors at NASA's Jet Propulsion Lab.
We think that was perhaps a football-sized asteroid, and something like that hits the Earth fairly frequently, maybe every day or so, somewhere on the Earth.
There seem to be more sightings lately.
I think that there's more awareness of the asteroid hazard than there was before.
The asteroid hazard became all too apparent in February when a flash in the sky over northern Russia was so powerful the shock wave shattered windows, knocked people to the ground, and injured more than 1,000. The asteroid, 60 feet across, was traveling at 40,000 miles an hour.
It was brighter than the sun, 30 times brighter than the sun.
Scientists say there are some 20 million space rocks like the one that exploded over Russia. Scientific papers published yesterday predicted one could come every 10 or 20 years, rather than once in a century as previously believed.
Nearly 2 million times more powerful than the Soviet Emperor bomb, the largest, most powerful explosive device ever detonated. Its target, Los Angeles. The last thing anyone there sees is a flash, a fireball, and then
if this asteroid were as large as we might imagine, a 10-kilometer asteroid, we would be talking about a crater that is 10 times larger than that. So we'd be talking about a 50-mile crater. So all of Los Angeles would end up being this humongous crater. We'd be talking about absolute devastation, nothing left over range up to perhaps 100 miles. As far away as San Diego, they would get massive earthquakes, they would get massive air blasts, winds that would simply flatten everything 200 miles away, would kill everything out to a range of perhaps 1,000 miles.
And that's just the immediate impact.
Then you would have all this debris fall back on the planet Earth. It'd be like a Christmas tree, seeing all these ornaments being thrown out in all directions. And then you would see firestorms, enormous areas of the planet Earth burning, releasing even more soot and ash in the air. Blanketing out sunlight, temperatures would then plunge, and life itself would be perhaps extinguished.
What you've just seen is a worst-case scenario of a major Earth impact event.
The kinds of asteroids that can extinguish much of the life on Earth, most of the species, come around every, say, 100 million years or so. And it's not a periodic phenomenon. It doesn't happen every 100 million years. It could happen at any time, just on average, roughly once every 100 million years. So it's not a question of if it'll happen. It's a question of when it will happen.
What's WROL? It means without the rule of law. Anarchy. The end of civilization. Coming soon to an America near you.
America can't collapse. We're as powerful as ancient Rome.
Homer, meet the Springfield Preppers. What would you do in the case of an EMP?
Electromagnetic pulse.
A burst of radiation that knocks out every electrical system in the country.
Impending doom.
What you reading, Dad?
Honey, everything's fine. There's nothing to worry about.
When things go south, the sheeple will clean out every supermarket in town.
Typical sheeple. Sheeple. So, what have you learned so far from our post-apocalyptic movie marathon? Typical sheeple.
In the world of Hollywood, for years they portray us as human beings as sheeple. They consider us sheep that are dumb, without a shepherd, without a leader. And they put signs in front of us all the time that they don't think we would ever comprehend. So we're going to go through these DVDs here: Ice World Los Angeles, Asteroid, and Kathy Griffin, Even Armageddon Won't Stop Me. When you search Ice World Los Angeles in the Gematria calculator, it equals to Seattle change MMXX, President Trump, calm before the storm, Barack Hussein Obama, Statue of Liberty, murder by numbers, and Kabbalistic reduction. Are these phrases any coincidence? Let's take a look at another one. If you research Asteroid, you get the following in a gematria: George Soros, Jacob's Trouble, All Good Things, Melania Trump. We skip down, Yeshua is King, Federal Reserve, and at the very bottom here, November 5th. Could November 5th possibly tie into something here? These names and phrases are a little different, aren't they? Maybe, just maybe, there's no connection at all and this is all just a coincidence. Well, if you type in Kathy Griffin, Even Armageddon Won't Stop Me, you get the following. He gave them power against unclean spirits, anointed true prophet of Yahweh, the seal of the Heavenly Father, speak glorious light, message from Christ. Maybe you can figure out the interpretation.
So, what have you learned so far from our post-apocalyptic movie marathon?
Guys who call themselves preacher or deacon are very bad. Water is money, unless gasoline is money, and even though lots of things are razor sharp, no one ever shaves.
Hollywood has taught you well, my son.
Here it is, Homer. The Springfield Preppers' top-secret bug-out retreat.
Wow! Your end of the world is better than my during the world.
Homer, we all know America's collapse is about 3 months away.
6 weeks at most.
There's always one alarmist. Anyway, when the 4 horsemen ride, we want you and your collaterals right here with us.
Hidden all our supplies behind a fake wall.
I thought the basement looked cleaner.
See? These are our bug-out bags. In here is everything we need to survive.
Survive what?
The looming kablooey.
It's reassuring to see you're aware of the future, but this is all a little creepy.
Creepy? Marge, the apocalypse is coming. Maybe not tomorrow, maybe never. But it's coming. And soon.
I'm going to bed.
An EMP?
You know what that means?
Hand scissors.
Look, you can have potato chips now, or if you wait 10 minutes, you can have all the brains you can eat.
I want both.
This is an emergency action notification sent at the request of the Department of Civil Defense. At 12:35 Pacific Standard Time, scientists at NASA discovered a large near-Earth asteroid heading on a direct collision course with Earth. It is thought that the near-Earth asteroid will make contact with Earth's atmosphere in the next 30 minutes and it is expected to make landfall off the coast of California. If you are in this projected impact zone, you are advised to make your way to the nearest underground shelter or to make your way to the lowest part of the structure you are currently inside. You are advised to remain in these shelters for the next 3 weeks until the immediate danger has passed. The president is expected to address the nation on all television and radio wavelengths within the next 10 minutes. We now have confirmation that the asteroid will make landfall over Santa Monica. If you are in the area of Santa Monica, or Los Angeles, it is imperative to move yourself to a safe shelter immediately. The government are warning citizens about debris from the asteroid as it comes closer to the Earth. These pieces of debris are likely to cause widespread death, injury, and may not out communications and television stations. These pieces of debris are likely to cause widespread death, injury, and may not out.
Revelation chapter 8, verses 10 through 12. And the third angel sounded, and there fell a great star from heaven, burning as it were a lamp. We're talking about an asteroid here. And it fell upon the third part of the rivers, and upon the fountains of waters. And the name of the star is called Wormwood, and the third part of the waters became wormwood. And many men died of the waters, because they were made bitter. People are going to try to drink this water, and they won't be able to. The water's going to be contaminated. And the fourth angel sounded, and the third part of the sun was smitten. This means that the sun is going to be blocked out from the clouded destruction from the wormwood. And the third part of the moon will also go through the same phase. And the third part of the stars, you won't be able to see the stars because of the clouds. And the third part of them was darkened. That means that the clouds and smoke from this wormwood is going to be so destructive. You won't be able to see the sun. You won't be able to see the stars. You won't be able to see the moon. So as the third part of them was darkened, and the day shone not for a third part of it, and the night likewise. So for a third part of the day and a third part of the night, it's going to be so bad for such a very long time that the moon and the sun, from our point of view, won't give us hue as much as it will. Luke chapter 21, verses 25 through 28. And there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars. These are one of the signs that we're going to see. There will be a great asteroid that's going to hit the earth. It will block out portions of the sun and portions of the moon. And upon the earth, distress of nations. So many people are going to be upset. So many people are going to be just in a craze. They're not going to know how to handle this situation. With perplexity. The sea and the waves roaring. We have earthquakes that are coming. Very, very powerful earthquakes. And tsunamis. Men's hearts failing them for fear. I mean, people are going to be so afraid, so troubled from this that they're going to have heart attacks and die from the sight of what's to come. And for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. So, again, men's heart are going to fail them because they're going to be looking after these things that are to come. For the powers of heaven shall be shaken. And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. Sometimes it's difficult to put things into words. So they say a picture is worth 1,000 words. There are signs in the sky. There's an image of a black man's face in the sky. Do you see it?